Hello friends, Archangel with Crypto Angel here. I would like to discuss the allocation pairs that we've seen recently updated in the Woofpaper version 2. I apologize for the lateness of this video, but I had some prior commitments in between my last video and this one, so this one's a little late getting out. But before we dive into these numbers here, I want to bring your attention to something I think I probably missed on the first quick overview during the liquidity event. So right now we see that we still have that 2-week liquidity event. During these 14 days, 1,000 bone per block will be minted for the allocation pool user returns. One of the things that I kind of missed is we see 1,000 and kind of gloss over it and reference back here to this 1,000 bone per block. And then we also read in parentheses 900 after the bone development and reward allocation. So I think I just assumed that was the same as well. But the second paragraph here really kind of drives some new information. It says during the liquidity event, 1,000 bone per block will be distributed to allocated farming pools through dig. So that means that entire 1,000 bone per block is going to the dig pool. It's no longer 900, but 1,000. Additionally, so in addition to, 50 bone per block will be minted and distributed to berry pools, and 100 bone per block will be minted and distributed to the development wallet. Now, the way I originally took this was that the dig pool was going to be reduced to 850. 50 bone per block we're going to be going to berry, and 100 bone per block we're going to be going to the development wallet. That we already knew about this part as well. So I just assumed in my head earlier that we were going to see 850 bone per block on the dig. But the way it's reading here, and I may be wrong, I'm not saying I'm reading this correctly, but the way I'm reading this is 1,000 bone per block will be distributed to those allocated farming pools through dig. So that's the entire 1,000 instead of 900. So this total bone per block will be adding up to 1,150 for every block. So I think it's important to note that change in the liquidity event. Now we can move to what those new pairs are, and we've got a few changes here. So the bone ETH pair has been doubled to 3,000 AP instead of 1,500, which we went over. The leash has gone up from 500 to 700, and the Shiba ETH has gone from 700 to 500. Now, one of the things that we see here is that this Elon ETH pair is still here. We did have some information from the developer that the Elon pair may have been going away, so I'm not sure if that's going to be sticking around or not. And again, there may be some items in this V2 paper that may be getting updated after it's been published. Some things may be getting pointed out that the language may need to change, but for right now, we're just going to roll with this paragraph on the 1,000 bone per block going to the allocation for the farming pools through dig. So with that in mind, we ran some numbers on these new allocation pair amounts and the percent total that equates to. So the goal is to get to that bone ETH at 50.42%. Leash is now going to produce 11.76%, and the Shiba ETH pair is going to produce 8.4% of that total. So out of the 1,000 bone per block, we're going to see 504 per block for bone, 117 per block for leash, and 84 per block for Shib. And we can see what that equates to for the total bone for the liquidity event. We come up with about 84.5 million bone. So, and I still had this note in here that actually needs to go away because we're no longer using the dev wallet or berry in this 1,000 calculation. So I wanted to bring that to your attention that we do now have a bone ETH pair that is going to be producing 504 bone per block, Leash ETH is 117 bone per block, and Shiba ETH is 84 bone per block. And it just goes down from there for these other pairs. So there are 16 pairs listed in the V2 as of 6/27. So we'll see if that changes or not, but I wanted to make sure that you are aware of these updated allocation pairs and how they break down for the bone per day and such. So we'll dive in later. Again, this is just educational information. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you which one to dig. These are just sorted in order of amount here for these first that the V2 Woofpaper has been published by. So these are in order of that, not in order of preference. So with that, I appreciate your time, and Archangel out.